Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 1 in a series between Remind and Believe. Believe spawning as the pink Undead player on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Remind has spawned as the purple Night Elf over here on the top right. Undead versus Night Elf in this 1v1, and I am curious as to how things will be playing out in this competitive match. Early games seem to be focusing on a large number of ghouls with that Death Knight, possibly with Unholy Aura or even Death Coil as that primary ability to either get in some good surrounds or steal a bit of experience. Now, we're going to go ahead and slow things down once we get to the 2-minute mark. I can already tell off to the north that the Demon Hunter is going to be making his rounds here in just a second. And finishing off this 3-3-3 creep camp, Ancient of War is taking a fair bit of damage. As you can see, a ghoul is also doing a bit of harassment here. This is very, very important as Remind knows that he needs to keep a certain amount of focus on this expansion or this clearing off over here. Otherwise, the Demon Hunter could end up not getting the killing blow and giving it to that Ancient of War, thereby putting him further back in terms of experience. Death Knight now on the move. He does end up grabbing Unholy Aura. He will most likely be taking out a sheep or a critter somewhere on the map and then be making his way off to the north. Those skeletal minions are a force to be reckoned with as the Death Knight, now wandering across over here, may try to get in some shots here. The Death Knight is actually slightly faster than the Demon Hunter at that point, and Remind knows that and is unable to chase after that ghoul. Ghoul now going to be heading back home without much of an issue. Death Knight now retreating as well, as we should be seeing a fair or a large number of ghouls coming off that lumber line in just a moment, and that Demon Hunter will most likely have to push back. Let's take a look at this over here. Are we going to see the ghouls? Yes, we are. The Demon Hunter may end up getting into a little bit of an issue there as, wow, unable to surround the Demon Hunter even though he did have 7 units. It is very, very difficult to do a surround on a Death Knight here. As you can see that there is this one ghoul just hiding all the way in the back, and the units are just hiding back and forth all the way around. And oh my goodness, are we going to see... Oh, that ghoul actually had the Demon Hunter trapped in a location, but the Demon Hunter was able to slip back out. A little bit of a misstep by Believe, or perhaps a great step by Remind, as Remind is now going to be doing a little bit of retreating. He was able to escape once, and he was able to escape twice, but he doesn't want to press his luck, sticking around next to that Death Knight with that Unholy Aura, making all of those really, really, well, bony ghouls just that much faster. Now, the Demon Hunter going after the Ogre Magi creep camp here. Evasion was the level 1 skill, so he will end up picking a potion of greater healing, and if he wants to, he can actually stick around and go after this Ogre Warrior creep camp just a little bit longer. You can see that the ensnares are going down, and this may end up turning into a very, very risky situation for Remind, but Remind knows that he does have Moonwells back at home and is going to go ahead and clear up this creep camp, giving him a very, very early experience lead. As you can see, the Death Knight, oh well, an illusionary Death Knight now chasing after that Demon Hunter. Dust of Appearance. That Archer not gonna have a very good day, instead having the worst night of her life, as we now see the Forest Troll Trapper getting taken out. Demon Hunter back up to pretty much full, has Boots of Speed and Ring of Protection +2. Very, very strong harassment here, as he will be able to catch up and pick off these straggling units. Now, the Death Knight with the skeletal minions could come in for a very, very strong surround here. The Demon Hunter, however, with the Boots of Speed, can easily outpace those ghouls. However, that Death Knight may end up being a problem. We can see Ancient of Wonders currently coming in. Tree of Ages already finished teching here, as the, well, nope, illusionary Death Knight just taking a little bit of damage. More illusionary Death Knights coming in, as well as the Death Knight here does have Unholy Aura and should be able to Death Coil if necessary. Alright, are we going to perhaps see some cold arrows being brought over? Yes, we do. That Naga Sea Witch is very slow. Now that Demon Hunter is a little bit slow, but he will just shake off that coldness and continue to run away at, well, top speed. Now, where is this Naga Sea Witch hoping to go next? Those cold arrows do deal a little bit of damage, more of a harassment technique or the ability to pick off straggling units, as the Death Knight and the Undead army most likely already taking up to tier 3. You can see Black Citadel already started, and that means the Lich with the Orb of Corruption is not too far away. Obsidian statues with destroyers also within the realm of possibility, as a Wand of Illusion is ending up getting dropped, picked up by the Naga Sea Witch, and wow, this Naga Sea Witch is having a very bad day. Is it going to be able to escape? That is the big question. No such luck whatsoever, as that Naga Sea Witch was trapped into a corner. Remind now going after, nope, not going after that ghoul instead. Going after this ghoul instead, will be able to get the ghoul. Trades it for an archer though, as both sides still doing a lot of damage here. And oh, this demon hunter, wow, almost ends up getting slipped up and trapped down again. This one low hit point ghoul does need to get away. Demon hunter down to 133 hit points. If that Death Knight perhaps gets a handful of shots off, no, that demon hunter now with at level 3, or I believe that was 50 extra hit points, effectively 25 extra hit points because of the loss of life there. But the Demon Hunter now has to be extremely careful, as he is within Death Coil range. He does not want to use this potion of greater healing until it is 100% necessary, and I don't know why. Why isn't my logo showing up? Hold on, give me a second. There we go. All right. A little bit of a misaligned there. Sorry about that. Anyways, Demon Hunter now heading back over here to the top left. Will go ahead and clear out this creep camp here in just a moment. A boulder onto the Demon Hunter, gonna give him a bit of problems. Dryads, however, are here and ready to go. Meanwhile, up over here, Essence of Blight used so that the Death Knight and ghouls have just that much more regeneration. Good regeneration, always adding into the general health total of all of those undead units. But I believe the ghouls are actually fighting off of the blight, so why even bring that if you don't necessarily need it? All right, ghouls now looking to back off here. Death Knight now sitting at level 3. Ghouls may end up falling down here. They need to stay on that blight, regenerate those hit points, as the one last ogre warrior will just most likely just get one-shotted right there, since he fell asleep outside the shop. Death Knight, skeletal minions, ghouls all wandering around here. We are going into the Altar of Darkness with that Lich. Still no obsidian statues that I see, but we do have 2 Crypt Fiends currently out, which are going to be very important to take on those Dryads. Remind, however, continuing to build his advantage here, and he's now looking at what? 2 archers, 2 Dryads, skeletal level 2, almost level 3 Naga Sea Witch, as the Death Knight now pulls back here. Naga Sea Witch still seen at level 1. This Death Knight hanging back off to the north here. Is he going to really be able to pull any of those units away, as the Naga Sea Witch using those cold arrows very, very effectively, allowing the ghouls to get in a lot of shots. Also, excuse me, Naga Sea Witch not using the cold arrows. That was the Black Citadel with its attack that does the cooling. Meanwhile, the Naga Sea Witch has turned off the auto-attack cold arrows in order to conserve a bit of mana. Alright, we can see a large or a small attack force now coming in here. Oh, Dryads are right here. It looks as though the Night Elf army is going to be able to pick off and get a bit of experience. Naga Sea Witch will get very close to level 3 here. There it goes, almost level 3 now, as the units are all now looking to back off. Remind is in control of this game, as the Naga Sea Witch gets the level 3 mana burn onto the Lich. Lich now gets a Frost Nova off, I believe. Yeah, back onto that Demon Hunter. That Demon Hunter takes a little bit of damage, but not really much to be concerned about. As you can see, the Demon Hunter still has the Potion of Greater Healing, and now with Druids of the Claw nearby, rejuvenations will be plentiful. Ogre Magi was already taken out. Forest Troll High Priest, the last creep left off over there, believe gonna have some serious issues trying to combat this upcoming battle. You can see that there are 2 bears in the background. I don't believe we have the Destroyer form upgrade available as of yet, as the Obsidian statue needs to get into position. Alright, Demon Hunter finishes it off. Does not get any items there, but he does sit on 10 armor on that Demon Hunter. 36% damage reduction. That is extremely high. Very difficult for the Demon Hunter to actually get taken out. Now, I believe it's what, effectively 6%, 6% effective hit points. So, 50% more hit points. He'll have to do about 1,000 points of damage, straight up damage, in order to take down that Demon Hunter. All right. Obsidian statue now getting trained up again off over here. Lich using this time to try and get to level 2. That level 2, that dark ritual, adding in mana onto that Lich is extremely useful. However, Fork Lightning coming in from behind, finishing off a handful of units as we now see the Crypt Fiend now in trouble. He does get a Death Coil to stick around for a little while longer, and wow, that Druid of the Claw gets taken out in a moment's notice. Beautifully done there by Believe, as Believe was able to focus down the Druid of the Claw right after that one Staff of Preservation. All right, Death Knight being forced to use a healing pot right there. Beautifully used so far, as we can see a little bit of lag already coming in. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Now Death Knight gonna be forced to run away. It does have that Belt of Giant Strength, which does move around very, very quickly. Scroll of Town Portal now coming in across the other side. A Ghoul does get taken down, and that is pretty much going to be it. Who came out of that fight better? I do not know. 43 over 40 compared to 32 over 60. The Night Elf definitely lost more, but he does have an expansion here at the 11 o'clock location that he is just now entangling. In about 2-3 minutes, that gold mine will have paid for itself. Meanwhile, during this time, is Believe going to be able to continue to do very strong creeping? Remind going after the Ogre Magi creep camp outside of his base at the Goblin Laboratory. Dryad's going to go ahead and finish things off. There goes one, there goes two. Book of the Dead being given to Remind, which is pretty much a double-edged sword. Yes, it is extremely powerful, but you need to keep track of the Destroyer's Devour magic. You can only use that Book of the Dead once the Destroyer has used its Devour magic, and even then, another Obsidian statue could pop up into a Destroyer and then Devour magic all of those units, adding in more damage to the Destroyer, which is very, very dangerous. A Destroyer with mana can destroy a Night Elf army very, very quickly, especially if that Night Elf army has 1 to 2 bears as the backbone. Tome of Strength now left behind. Death Knight sitting at 3. Lich sitting at 2. Naga Sea Witch sitting at 3. 3-3-2 going up against a 4, I believe a 4-3. So we are still extremely close overall in terms of level, as the Bears, or nope, Night Elf is now going to join in on this fight here. There we go. There's the engagement. Death Coil does not get out in time. A little bit of negative armor there for that Demon Hunter. Now down to, well, now back up to 10 as we continue this fight here. Crypt Fiend does get taken down. Burrow onto the Crypt Fiend in order to stay alive, as we see another Crypt Fiend get taken out here. All right, this is not looking good. Death Coil onto the Lich. Lich is somehow able to stay alive, needs to back away. Does have a dark or a sacrificial skull in order to perhaps get a little bit more hit points. You can see the Demon Hunter has fallen off of a Death Coil there. Death Knight now gets up to level 4 as we see the units are now popping back up. Believe in a strong position now, as he should be able to shut down this expansion, and no real gain in gold, as an Ancient of War also taken out as well. Dryads want to consider at least putting in a little bit of pressure here, as he knows that by at least putting in a little bit of pressure, he can get more gold out of this gold mine. However, he does not want to risk any of those units, and it looks like the units are simply going to be backing off here in just a second. Naga Sea Witch still sitting at 3. Demon Hunter resurrected at the tavern. A very, very expensive resurrection, as we should be seeing a Druid of the Claw getting in a rejuvenation here in just a second. Demon Hunter quickly runs back in. There's a potion of greater healing. Crypt Fiend now backing off. Hippogriffs are in the air. Destroyers are getting poked apart by the Dryads, and also now that Hippogriff. One Hippogriff down. Is the Death Knight going to be able to finish off the other Hippogriff? The other Hippogriff now is continuing to fly away. Death Knight now in trouble. Scroll of Town Portal is in the realm of possibility. There it goes. It does use it, as Remind is now trying to escape. Wow, with that Naga Sea, which does do exactly that. But both sides losing a lot of units, 40 over 60 compared to 45 over 60, and not, I repeat, not getting this Tree of Life, which is perhaps the biggest sign that Remind was at least able to hold off. All right, let's take a look at what is happening next. Remind, 42 over 60 supply. Naga Sea Witch is trying to get resurrected once more. Army now heading back up to the north again in order to stop this expansion. Entangled Gold Mine is currently full. Are we going to see the army and the units come back in quick succession? Let's see. Remine now pulling back off over here. Crypt Fiends are right here. Naga Sea Witch is right here as well. All the units very strong, working together. Demon Hunter able to Staff of Preservation back the unit, and now Remine, with no longer the economical advantage, will need to figure out how to combat this army. Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 4. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Lich is it also sitting at 3 now. Level 2 Frost Nova may even get to level 4 here. And a 4/4/4 army is just going to spell death for Remind and all of his units. All right, a little bit of a pun there for all you Chinese speakers. Anyways, Death Knight now heading over here to the top right. We'll see where are they going to be going to next, as the Lich, with that Orb of Corruption, looking to perhaps take out this gargantuan sea turtle. All right, Naga Sea Witch ready to go. All the units back across over here. Naga Sea Witch hanging over here by the top right. And where is the Naga Sea Witch perhaps going to get to level 4? At level 4, that Fork Lightning is going to be that much stronger, but there is no more ghouls to really cause that many issues or problems. Now, the Lich really wants to benefit from all of this experience, but it may not get to level 4 here since the Death Knight and the other remaining units are still so close. All right, Lich getting ready to go for what I believe to be a final push in just a moment. The Demon Hunter is still too far behind. Naga Sea Witch does get to level 4 here, and Remind has lost a significant amount of his units. 49 compared to 50. He has rebuilt them, but there is now 4 hippogriffs in the air, which are only there to combat the two destroyers. We also see 4 Crypt Fiends with web. So if the destroyers are in the proper position and the Crypt Fiends are in the proper position, those hippogriffs will be webbed down onto the ground well before they get within fighting range of those destroyers. All right, here we go. What's going to be happening up next here? You can see the engagement now about to go in. There's web number 1, 2, 3, 4. Frost Nova. Units are missing. Burrow on the Crypt Fiend, and that Crypt Fiend is somehow staying alive, as it is also dropping in health because of that Orb of Venom. Now Death Knight also using a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability as well, going after the bears. Bear number 1 is now taken down. You can see that the hippogriffs are here. Death Knight finishes off, or something finishes off, that Demon Hunter there. Hippogriff is going to get taken down here, and I believe is going to take game number 1 in this series, as Remind does give the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.